Hello, my name is Sam Bellenger and this is my AS Media Foundation portfolio evaluation. I chose to do the print brief as I've already done media at GCSE and I wanted to continue to develop my print skills. My portfolio is based around the genre of hip hop. I chose to do this genre because in my primary and secondary research I discovered that there was a place in the magazine market for a new magazine of this style. I also chose hip hop as it is a genre that keeps getting more and more popular and subsequently has a large following. I learned from my research that my target audience age were male hip-hop fans aged 15 to 30 years old in social grades B to E of any ethnicity but predominantly British, as this magazine would initially only be distributed in the UK. Choosing the genre meant I was able to analyse more about some of my favourite existing hip-hop magazines such as XXL and Source to learn about the genre conventions I should use. But as hip-hop has become more mainstream, I decided I also wanted to attract a more mainstream market. This meant I had to also research magazines from different... My secondary and primary research taught me to find out what conventions would attract the mainstream audience. Like XXL and Source, I would need to attract my male audience by using masculine colour palette. I did this by using black, dark, blue and white on my cover content double page spread with some read in places. These were colours my target audience said best represented them. These colours break hip hop conventions slightly by using blue as the main colour because XXL normally uses red, black and white while Source often uses green, black and white. I think using blue gives my magazine its own unique chilled vibe and still works with the conventions as I have used three colours suitable for a masculine audience. As I followed conventions by making sure my mise-en-scène, such as backdrops and costumes, also fitted this colour palette. My colour choices fit nicely with use representation theory, as blue and black can connotate depression, which fits Stanley Hall's 1904 theory about youth state of mind, while white and black connotate youth as trouble and fun, which clearly fits Berry's 1998 theory about youth being mixed metaphors. Secondary and primary research taught me that layout should be simple, modern, bold and masculine, as Source and XXL both did their layouts like this. I followed this convention on my cover and contents double page spread by just using one image of each page and positioning the text in ways that did not make the products look cluttered. I stuck with text layout conventions by only having a small amount of writing for the teasers and article, but I made it look like a lot more by using bold masculine large fonts that were unconventional of the genre. On my cover, the masthead is at the top and my teasers go large and my teasers go around the main image clearly. When laying out my conventions page, my contents page, I kept very simple and modern style that most magazines in this genre. On my content and the content is just a neat column down the left of the page with the main image on the right. On my double page spread, the text of the article is on the left with a massive title above it, while on the right is a main image with a large quote covering part of it. I use one main font family throughout my 3 pages. I chose this font family as it has a very modern, masculine, professional feel. I use the different variations of the font to create contrast on my pages. I use the light versions for the base text and the bolder and italics options for artist names and important keywords. I did this as it enabled me to make the reader focus on keywords and the artist names. It was also just like basic font, and it would also not follow common conventions of the existing magazines in this genre, as they generally use 3 font styles. The artists shown in my teasers on the contents page and the article on my double page spread follow hip-hop genre conventions, as I have featured the names of well-known hip-hop artists. The text on my cover and contents follows the conventions as it gives a brief teaser about the story and encourages the audience to buy the magazine and find out about the full story. This will attract my specific target audience, as these well-known artists in that genre will be familiar to them and represent their needs for entertainment, information and socialisation, which ties to Bloomer and Cat's 1973 uses and gratification theory about why my specific audience would want my magazine. My lexis follows conventions, as I've used words that come from hip-hop slang on my masthead, as I call my magazine Hustle, which is a term my audience will know the connotations to and feel it represents them as rebellious and some semantic fields they are similar with. My image breaks some conventions of hip-hop genre because I've not used black artists as star vehicles. I did this because I wanted to break stereotypes and show white readers that hip-hop could also be about them, represent them in a more hip-hop stars like that are now white. I did this because it would make my magazine more appealing to a wider audience. My mise-en-scène does fit the genre though. On my double page spread, I used a model who I had dressed in the common outfit of a hip-hop star. I dressed him in a dark hoodie with a flat cap. When taking the photo, I used low-key lighting setup as it would focus the lighting on the model. When I was arranging the model, I had him have his back to the camera, as it seemed to be a very unique technique for hip-hop magazines. When it came to editing my images, I used Photoshop to add effects and use adjustments to change the lighting and the colouring. I used the blue colour I got from the hoodie to make the text relate to the colour palette. On my contents page, I stuck with the conventions again by using a model with a similar age, target audience, who I dressed in a blue hoodie. I used the blue off his hoodie to colour and match the text to make my colour scheme have continuity. On my cover, I used another model who I styled like a hip-hop star. I got him to pose looking down at the audience to connote masculine power. Using dark lighting, I dressed him in a hoodie and a shirt that fitted with the lower social grade of target audience and genre. All my images fit Gandalf's rags to riches story, as they show everyday lower class people making it to be big hip hop stars. My images also fit Hall's criminal youth stereotypes, as it fits with the acetated lifestyle and lyrics of hip hop. My audience will feel represented and entertained by my images, as I have followed the conventions and have used models they can aspire to be like. Other conventions I followed from real magazines include putting a barcode, price and issue number on the cover, including page numbers by stories on the content, putting page numbers on my double page spread and using text boxes to make pages look more. I would approach Bauer Media Group to publish and distribute my magazines, as it is a well-established distributor of many magazines such as Q and Kerrang. These are seen as some of the top music magazines, as they feature some of the top artists in a specific genre. Connections with magazines and companies such as Empire, MCN Sport and Land Rover International. They also have a very large following on digital media and have a large portion of their audience that listen to and view the magazine online. With Q Magazine alone, they have a total of 377,000 people who watch, listen and read their magazine online. 68.3% of the viewers being male and the remaining 31.7% being female. Mostly male audience continues with their well-known magazine, Kerrang, which the percentage of male viewers being 54.7% and the female audience being 45.3%. What this shows me that Bauer have the necessary experience in attracting and representing different audiences to magazines from different genres. A music magazine would be a good investment for Bauer Media, as they do not have a music magazine fully based around hip-hop. I think Bauer Media would be a good distributor, as they can afford to run a lot of copies and can afford the promotions needed to launch my magazine as a leading contender in hip-hop genre. Bauer could also afford to launch my magazine as an online publication. My magazine would be a successful online magazine, as it appeals to mostly male aged 15 to 30 years, and this group stereotypically likes to consume products online.